Good evening, campers, it's me, Kieran. Today we are going to talk about one of the pioneering pieces of science fiction ever written. That is Isaac Asimov's Foundation. Published between the 1940s and the 1950s as a collection of short stories and novellas within the magazine Astonishing Science Fiction, Asimov's series Foundation is seminal. In fact, one of science fiction's most lauded prizes, the Hugo Award, announced it as being the best series of all time. The series consists of Foundation, Foundation and Empire, and then the second Foundation. The Foundation series maintained to be a trilogy for a long time, but persistence from adoring fans, actually it's akin to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, where he killed off Sherlock and then the fans were like, we need more, so had to bring it back. So Asimov did. After second Foundation, there's Foundation's Edge, followed by Foundation and Earth. So after 3 decades with 3 books, we now have 5, but the fans still wanted more, so Asimov wrote 2 prequels, Prelude to Foundation and Forward to Foundation. With 7 books within the Foundation series, it means that Asimov wrote this series over 51 years, 1942 to 1993. And there has been a resurgence in people's desire to read Foundation because of Apple TV's series Foundation. Now, if you've only watched the TV series and you've not read the books, please know they are very different. The biggest difference that you're going to notice is that Salvor and Gale are actually men. And if you finish season 1, you'll know why that's like a really big difference. Additionally, with the Empire, there's no Brother Dawn, Day and Dusk. They don't exist. But everything surrounding Hari Seldon and his idea of psycho-history is pretty spot on. For the sake of clarity, in this video we're only going to be talking about this collection, Foundation. We'll cover Foundation and Empire and Second Foundation in their own videos. This is where you want to start. If you've not read the books or watched the series, what is Foundation about? Simply put, Hari Seldon has developed a theory of psycho-history. Seldon predicts that if everything is to stay as it is, alongside the fall of the Empire, there will be 30,000 years of turmoil, chaos, and carnage. However, Seldon believes that he can alleviate some of this if he is to take a handful of intellectuals, the encyclopedists, and create a new foundation for society. As such, Seldon and his collective are exiled to a remote, faraway planet, Terminus. This is the Foundation. However, there is a second Foundation on the other side of the galaxy, of which we know very little about. On Terminus, after decades past, the society has settled, but Hari Seldon's dead. But luckily for us, there's a time vault, and within there's a hologram of Hari Seldon. Upon being activated, holographic Seldon tells everyone that the real reason they're there is to offset a series of Seldon crises, which will prevent the ultimate downfall of the Empire and the galaxy and the 30,000 years of chaos, carnage, and death. But those on Terminus are a little bit perplexed because they have no defences. They have nothing to arm themselves with, only their intellect and wit. But I wonder what the second Foundation have over on the other side of the universe that Seldon set up. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to get to the 3rd book to find out, aren't you? I know we've only just covered it, but I think it's worth stressing here in regards to the publication history of Foundation. This was a series of novellas and short stories provided to a magazine, and therefore Foundation feels very distinct within its stories. This is not a collection of interconnected stories. These are more a continuation on that are interrelated, meaning that with each story we're moving into the future, but the ramifications and everything that has happened in the previous story haven't really got a direct impact on the next. And so at times Foundation can feel very jarring, with a cacophony of characters who come into the forefront are very subsequently pushed back out into space. Trying to ground yourself within this story does feel like a bit of a pointless activity, because you know you're going to swiftly be moving on throughout the years, throughout the solar system. In being a seminal and groundbreaking work of science fiction that has definitely influenced a lot of the genre. You would expect this to be very science forefront, but in fact I see Foundation more as a political diatribe, a discussion of argument and persuasion between binaries, where every single one of the 5 stories that create Foundation can be distilled into X versus Y. Technology, the science, it is very hand-wavy. It doesn't go into any real depth. Foundation predominantly is people speaking in rooms. Thinking back about the publication history, Asimov does something that Dickens does. Charles Dickens used to write for penny dreadfuls, meaning that chapters had to be fairly contained but also want to entice readers to pick up the next copy. Asimov's work is action-filled, mostly at the end of every collection, and very rushed. This is executed the best with Read Us Within the Mayor's story. You've probably guessed my opinion on this, but the first collection of Foundation is dull. It's tiresome. And I can see a lot of readers picking this up and going, yeah, you know what, I think I'm done with this series. But the mule has not been introduced yet, and we're going to meet the mule in the next book. Asimov really does hitch up, straddles the mule, and really gallops on with this series. Alas, in order to get to the good stuff, you're gonna have to grit your teeth with this one, and that's why Foundation for me is like a 2 out of 10.